Content warnings are in the description. Good luck out there.
Welcome back. You're finally awake. We were starting to get worried about you. The city missed you too, and they're not the only ones. That concrete heart that beats so slowly, but it beats still. Unlike some other hearts I could mention. Don't you think it's exciting giving dreams back to the dead?
Something.
Don't you think it's strange seeing what goes on in their heads? Now the hunters become hunted, while Seattle turns in its bed. And they're not the only ones. It's the witching hour, my friends. They say that dreamers often lie, but don't we all? They say that dreams cannot die, but don't we all? Well, maybe not all of us. Be careful, kindred. Green-eyed monsters lurk in Seattle's shadows. They're not the only ones.
Green-eyed?
Once that voice comforted me, and now it doesn't.
It's never comforted me, let's be real here.
We've got hunters in the city.
You think it's Lou?
Or someone in her corner.
I'd say it's good to be back, but
I wouldn't be too sure.
Good evening, travelers, and welcome back to the Court of the Jester Princes. I am your storyteller, Jonas Tintenseher, and we are playing Vampire the Masquerade V5 Midnight Gravity.
Woo!
Hey.
Thank you. Joining me tonight, our sallow stitcher, Andrew Frost.
My name is Antonio Stregano, and I didn't come up with anything yet.
oh,
Classic.
that's all right.
Starting off season 2 strong.
Our melodious musician, Rachel Kordell.
I'm Mars, and tonight's song is The Morning After by Meg Myers.
Hmm.
You die in the morning. So
Oh. All right.
vampire.
Spoilers. They're not all vampire coded, okay? They can't all be.
I want you guys
It's
to know that
impossible.
once again, I guess this is a once a season thing. My tongue really wanted me to say our melodious musician, Rachel Kordition. I don't know why that keeps happening to me.
I am all of those things.
Rachel Mortician.
What? No, that's Antonio.
Oh, you're right.
Our vigilant vagabond, Sky Swanson.
Let's all quack, quack, quack. Time for bird facts with Ajax. I mean, Reggie.
Quack, 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 quack.
Some bird species' nesting habits has been irrevocably changed by human development, but not in a, destroying all of them. One such is purple martins. They love nests in cavities by the water, but now they almost exclusively choose nests built by humans. It's possible that this trend started with indigenous people placing dried gourds.
Huh.
Yeah.
That was interesting,
Reggie.
actually. Oh.
Our affable alchemist, Casey Reardon.
I play Mathias Wilson, and are you thirsting for another Thurston fact?
Yeah, thirsty.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Give
good.
me.
I'm glad.
Always.
Dry as a hair out here.
I simp for those facts.
In the 1900s, Thurston traveled to Europe and Asia, meeting with kings and queens and with common folk, always returning to his hometown of Columbus, Ohio, on numerous occasions.
Oh, is that it?
That's where all American royalty lives.
That's true.
I just really expected some and that's where he went to cheat on his wife or something like that.
It's implied.
We're used to that. We're used to
His
that.
third wife.
I mean, it's
The
implied.
adultery is implied.
It's implied. It's implied.
Mm.
And that's where he picked up his seventh wife.
And then made them disappear in a grand magic act.
And please welcome to the show our husky huntress special guest, Goat.
husky?
Husky as in strong, forceful.
I like it.
As in the dog.
As in the dog.
It's in a fucking dog.
Hello, my name is Goat. Woof woof, bark bark.
That's what goats do.
I am
Perfect goat impression.
I am playing Max tonight, and today's bone of the day is the Malleus. Do you guys know what the Malleus is?
No,
No.
inform me.
It's a bone. It's a
Eyes
bone.
open, Antonio.
I'm gonna guess it's a bone. I'm
It's
gonna
a
go on a
bone.
limb. It's a bone.
Wait, it's the hammer in the ear, right?
It is. So Jonas had it
Oh,
right.
you Googled
it's actually,
I did not know. I remember
No, they're
hammer.
a fucking nerd.
Well, actually, no, I am a nerd because I know it from Critical Role that Malleus is hammer. So I went Malleus hammer. Ooh, ear hammer.
Yeah, it's the Latin word for hammer, and it's one of the 3 bones in your inner ear.
Wow.
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 Also, shout out to friend and top listener of the show, Max. This arc is going to get confusing for you. Last time on Midnight Gravity, our coterie found themselves scattered to the 4 corners of Seattle. Guided by longtime ally Vivian O, the Malkavian Primogen, our kindred reunited and learned that they had spent nearly 5 months on the other side of the Midnight Door, emerging on the fall equinox, September 23rd, 2027. In that time, the Toreador Lou Grand has claimed Praxis, and vampire hunters of the Second Inquisition have arrived in the city, threatening many decades of Camarilla stability. The 4 of you are currently in Vivian's minivan, driving up from where you had gathered at the West Point Lighthouse, east through the city toward Wallingford, where she has stated that she will be taking you to the location of one of the recent hunter attacks. Any conversation in the car?
Mars just has her nose in her phone. For most of it, she's listening, but she's a little preoccupied.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mathias at this point is a little anxious about what he was trying to do before Vivian kind of halted everything, but he's not saying much. He's more just kind of like tapping at his thighs on his knees.
I think Reggie is just talking to Antonio and it is just saying, so, do you think that's where neon gets the name? It's from the glow, or do you think it was first the thing and then the glow?
It's a gas. Neon
Yeah,
means a
but,
gas
like-
and it burns.
But, like, was there a glowy thing already called neon, or did they name the gas, then discover it was glowy, and then name the color neon?
I assume there's some kind of Latin root. I'm not quite sure.
What's Latin?
That's what they used to speak a long time ago.
Reggie, I don't know which came
Jesus
first.
Christ! I'm sorry. Scared me.
I don't know which came first, but I know that it basically just means it was new. So either way, it's not a very creative name. It was just the new element at the time.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What a weird world we live in.
It's a little less darker, though.
As Vivian steers the conversation, Antonio takes to looking outside at the passing streetlights and tries to get a finger on the pulse of the city right now.
Ooh, what ability are you using,
I'm
Antonio?
going to be using Concrete Heart, baby.
Concrete
Hey,
Heart.
yo.
A recent addition. What does that do for you? Why don't you read that ability for us? This is one of our homebrew lore sheets.
Surely. So, Concrete Heart, I have a full street-level map of the city's layout in my head, and I always have a general sense of the mood of the city, expressed as a resonance that permeates the air. Basically, the genius loci of the city will whisper secrets and warnings and sweet little nothings in my ear. And once per story, I can ask Jonas for a piece of information about the city or for guidance on how to best protect the city and its people.
Is that only once per story? I don't know if I changed my mind or if I just wrote it down wrong, but I'm gonna upgrade that to once per session, actually. But yeah, great. You roll down the window and you feel all at once like a great gust of wind, the breath of the city come to you through the car window. You feel this strange, almost vertigo-inducing perspective shift as the gap between the Seattle you left and the Seattle you find yourself in now suddenly merge with each other. And you close your eyes and meditate on this perspective. You sense the distant keening of whales far out in the Pacific, The low rumble of magma beneath the mountains to the east, the push and pull of traffic in the streets, the sound of young children playing and then being taken in for their curfew before it gets too dark. The city is currently feeling a general melancholic resonance. It is September. It is raining. It is dark and gray, and the future is uncertain. But when was it ever? You guys continue onward, and Vivian drives you into Wallingford, where you park on the north shore of Lake Union at the parking lot of Gasworks Park, which is a small kind of ex-industrial location that has been since open to the city as just a public park. There's these tall metal pipes and pillars curving and twisting around. There's docks leading off into the lake to the west. A small sort of, like, not quite a beach, but like a beach-coated peninsula. And, was that bad?
Coated or coded?
Coded, as in vibed.
Oh, okay then.
It's brain rot speak.
Coded. Yeah, brain rot speak. Thank you.
I speak brain rot.
Wow, he was really beach coated.
She parks there and says, "So, I don't know all the details exactly. Like I said, Anarchs and Thin Bloods have been some of the primary targets, and we don't have good record of everyone in the Seattle metro area. And Switchboard won't give out anyone's contact details, even if they're dead. So, I don't know exactly who went down here. I just sensed something, and I've been trying to keep my distance until you guys got back."
So something's here, and we're just...
Something was here.
Something was here. Gotcha.
Something was here last week. It's recent.
Right. Sorry, a little distracted. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You know, you're not, like, making a scene on socials or anything, right?
No. Just checking in on something.
That's pretty easy to check up on.
What?
Oh, just whether or not you're making a scene. We can figure that out pretty easy.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I was just checking up on something. Like,
You
I'm
just
not
posted
posting.
a selfie of us in the car
No,
saying
I
back
did
and
not.
ready.
What phone are you looking at?
That's fair. Just remember, we're working under cover of night here. Keep it down low.
Aren't we always? Because, like, we
It's a
can't do the
metaphor, Reggie.
daytime. I get out of the car.
Don't worry. My socials are pretty undercover, actually. Thanks.
To be clear, now, was there a kindred killing here? Or just an attack?
I don't know for sure.
All right.
I believe, I'm going to say with, 90% certainty, they didn't die. But like I said, I didn't get here in time to see it myself.
Okay. I'll figure that out.
The people up top, the rest of the council, they've been... It's chaos. So.
I'd imagine.
Do your best. I'll circle around if you need anything. You have my number.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Cool.
You guys unload out of the car and start meandering down toward Gasworks Park. You don't see any security or anything around, thankfully. But while you're approaching, why don't the four of you all give me wits awareness, please? And if you have heightened senses, you may add it.
If possible, because Mathias would be kind of trying to, if this was like an attack that by mortal and the mortal was wounded, he would be sniffing out for resonance if he could find it.
Sure, you can also roll your Bloodhound roll.
Cool.
Would Shadow Vigil kick off here?
If it does, I will tell you.
Okay.
Shadow Vigil is an extra success, automatic success,
extra
2 success, 1 extra success. Yeah, okay.
I find this roll highly appropriate for this moment. I got 1 success on 6 die.
Mars is just on her phone.
Pretty much, yeah. Back on the phone.
Well, none of us are really doing that great on this wits awareness.
See what Mathias gets.
Oh, come on, Mathias, please.
Yeah! There we go. Okay.
And then
Oh
on
my
top of that,
God.
I have a, for the Bloodhound, it's Resolve Awareness.
Yes.
So I'll roll that as well.
5 successes on 5 dice.
Yeah,
Amazing.
pretty good.
And 2 on the Resolve Awareness.
Okay, so that makes sense. It's,
It's been a week, so.
It's been a week.
Yeah.
You maybe generally kind of get a vague melancholic vibe of what does linger here. More so the general mortal stink that permeates a public space
Sure.
instead of any specific spots of blood. with 5 successes, and Antonio, with your Shadow Vigil, you both see some small shape up in the curves and bends of the pipes that make up Gasworks Park. Antonio, that is all you see. Just a small shape, not human-sized. Mathias, you are able to make out what appears to be a rat of some kind.
Okay.
Skittering to and fro, and it appears to be
suspicious,
aware of you.
In a suspicious way, and like a Nosferatu way.
On 5 successes, in a way like that, yeah.
Okay.
It seems, you catch a glimpse of it as beams of light from the nearby street lamps reflect off the pipes, and it seems a little bit more kind of alert and intentional with its movements.
Okay. Matthias is gonna turn to the group. Mars, put your fucking phone down.
Sorry.
We've got company.
Don't we ever?
Where?
Matthias, trying to gesture in a way that isn't necessarily going to give anything up, is going to kind of nod towards where this rat is.
All right. How do we approach? Do we approach?
Well, it's probably best to keep observing here for now. Let's go about our normal search first, and if something, just be ready for something to happen.
Sure.
Max, you are lurking here, squirreled away in the twists and turns of Gasworks Park, and you see as these voices gently echo across the shore here, 4 unfamiliar figures, although who is familiar to you here, really? You see a tall, somewhat gangly, lanky, pale, bald man with sunglasses on at night. You see a slightly shorter man with short dark hair and a long wool coat and a serious expression. A woman in all black with slight red accents, something of a rock star, sort of high-laced boots and leather jacket. And a young, scrawny, long-haired
something
figure, androgynous, who is nevertheless quite beautiful and has 2 long white streaks running down the front of their neck.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about
that.
You see these people approaching, and they seem to be aware that something is aware of them. What do you do?
Max crouches down in the dark, and her eyes kind of flare and glow red to kind of take it in more in the darkness, and she sniffs the air and tries to sense the beast to determine the nature of this group.
Oh, excellent choice. Why don't you go ahead and make your first roll of our little chronicle?
Did you guys hear that? Oh, I think it's just some people doing coke in the park. I think we're fine.
Resolve plus animalism, please.
I can do that. I know I can do it.
You gotta hit animalism first and then resolve. Jonas
Yes.
has a weird storyteller accent.
I have the normal
They like to shame
book.
us and say that we have the weird accent.
No, it's roll 20 that has the weird accent, to be fair. And everyone else, please also roll composure plus subterfuge. Subterfuge, composure.
Thank you for saying it in my native accent.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh, Reggie. Oof.
Oh no.
2 successes.
Oh, I'm supposed to be sneaky too. Oh, my composure is terrible.
Yeah, we're really doing hot.
2 successes for Matthias.
Could I instead offer you
$5.
$250.
one of could I instead
Antonio really needs a Capri Sun.
Can I instead just offer you one of those instead?
No.
Yeah.
So none for Reggie, 1 for Antonio, and 2 for Mathias and Mars. However, Max, what have you got?
I rolled a...
You rolled a crit.
Yeah, 4?
Yeah, just 4 with a crit, so that still beats everyone.
I think Reggie is still talking about neon to Antonio, who is not listening to Reggie at all. Why wouldn't they just call it Neon or something? Why neon? I don't really get it.
You sense a snarling, growling, hungry entity within the hearts of all 4 of these figures, and you know that they are, like you, kindred.
Say it.
Out loud.
Sorry.
Vampire. They're spider monkeys.
Say it out loud. They're monkeys.
Max scratches out. Another thing with it, too, is that it can kind of sense aggressive intent, which I'm guessing is
Yes,
not
general hostility.
coming from this group, just general hostility, because that's going to totally change the vibe.
Feel free to correct me, but yeah, you would sense that they're not here to, like, fight or find you or hunt or anything. You do sense that there's perhaps a little bit of cold, stark attitude coming from the man in the wool coat.
Yep, that's fair. I don't know if my beast has that cold, stark attitude, though.
The beast and the hostility are different.
Okay.
Yeah, that's you.
It senses the beast and senses hostility.
Gotcha.
Max feels investigating in the wake of vampire hunters coming out and with what's going on with the person she has the blood bond with. I think there's a sense of apprehension, but also relief. And Max picks up the nearest rock and kind of tosses it towards Ratatasker. And she goes, "It's cool, Rat. They're fine. It's cool. We're good."
You all hear this exclamation.
Ah, fuck, it's tweakers.
I pull out my gun.
Mars whips her head in the direction of the sound.
Just don't engage, guys. Just don't engage. Just don't make eye contact. Just.
As a figure emerges from the darkness and that little rat on top of Gasworks Park skitters down and leaps onto their shoulder, you can see now in the full light a rusty, kind of ruddy-coated squirrel, and not a rat at all. Who do these four figures see emerging?
Yes, so out of the darkness, you kind of first see the red eyes kind of glowing, and then they kind of go back. And you see a youngish-looking woman with light brown skin. She's got tattoos and a side buzz and this kind of frizzy, unmanageable hair. And then just a wicked grin with these long, sharp fangs coming out. And she goes, "Gee, I don't think I can say the big man's name, I don't think, but I done thought you were humans. And I've never been more relieved."
Relieved that we're not humans?
Relieved that we're not hunters, I'm sure.
Does she think we're werewolves or something?
Right. No,
No, you can smell them.
Ah.
Oh, you can smell it for miles.
What about neon? Can you smell? I heard it's a gas.
Reggie.
I'm sorry. I'm obsessed. I'm.
Who's neon?
No one's
Just-
neon.
No, it's a gas.
The signs. Okay.
You got gas?
This honestly came out of nowhere. I don't even know where this conversation came from.
I saw a pizza sign and it was missing a letter, and I was like, "How does that work?" And then I used your phone and with the little
me that
battery it had
back.
left. I give it back to you instead.
Please, can we get the topic at hand? Who are you?
Who am I? Well, that, depends on who you are.
Why would that depend?
Why would that depend?
You're not from here. I know that.
How you know that? You don't know me. You don't know my life.
Sure, and you don't know our lives.
Nah, I guess you're right. Well, see, I'm here investigating an attack.
Okay.
Well, we have that in common.
Oh, see, we're not so different, you and I.
I'm gonna make a quick insight check right now.
Yes, go ahead.
What would that be, wits?
I'm also going to insight that.
Intelligence plus insight, or wits insight if you prefer.
Intelligence, think.
I think I'm gonna
God.
respect the fact that I rolled a 0 and not.
Yeah, sure.
I'll be 4 successes.
Nice.
Also 4 successes.
One success. These dice are going to jail.
First, let me ask the two of you, when you say insight, what sort of insight are you seeking? Do you want to know their allegiance, their hostility, if they're simply lying about being here on the same objective?
I guess I'm looking for how authentic they're being. Because they seem very amicable.
Sure.
And given the circumstances,
Yeah, that's not usual.
I don't know. I think Tony's a little concerned or rubbed the wrong way, at least.
Goat with a composure rating of 2. Matthias and Antonio have acquired a margin of 2 successes, which is pretty reasonable, pretty good level of insight. So what do you think they glean from Max's persona?
I think it is just a nervous babble and that mix of panic and relief, but it is coming from a genuine non-hostile place.
Okay.
I think what Mathias is looking for is more so allegiance, why you're here investigating these hunters when we know that not many other people seem to be doing so. Otherwise, Vivi wouldn't have sent us here.
I can take that one. You know, as a long-term resident of Seattle, you don't recognize this person at all.
From any Elysium or anything?
No Elysium, no fringe outskirts, no mention of them. They are completely new, and it's possible they could have arrived in the last couple months while you were gone. But as Vivian said, anarchs and other members on the fringe of kindred society here would not be accounted for. Still, you're familiar with all of them, at least by name, and this one does not match any of those descriptions. So
Right.
They are from out of town. Whatever could have brought them here, you'll have to ask.
Right. And why exactly are you looking into the hunters by yourself?
I was hired for money and services that people usually take in payment.
By whom? Maybe we know them.
What?
I don't think you do. They go to a different
Another
Elysium.
school? Yeah.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. I didn't go to school.
Mars is tipped off by this. You're doing this for what?
I was hired, but that's my business. But I'm looking into investigating, and I saw you guys kind of looking like you had similar intent, so I thought we could exchange notes.
Well, we just got here.
We've been here for all of 3 minutes.
Oh, perfect! So we can look together. Right.
It's what?
So, yeah, let's work together. What have you found out so far?
I
Then we're gonna get him, right?
no.
What's that?
You don't know?
I know there was a attack here, and there was signs of struggle.
Okay, so we're square one. Okay.
Seems we're squared up.
Well, hold on. You said you were hired, right?
Yes.
So you were hired to investigate this attack specifically? Do you know who was attacked?
Yes.
And that would be...
A kindred.
And their name is...
Did Vivi hire you too?
I don't think it was Vivi.
No.
Oh, okay then. I'm sorry.
Sam.
Their name was Sam.
Sam.
Yes.
Oh, Sam DeWinky?
No, that's Steve.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
sorry.
Steve.
No, Steve's brother.
Oh, I didn't realize
Yeah.
Steve had
He
a
died
brother.
a long time
Yeah,
ago.
he has a brother. Yeah. Well, I mean, died, but he
Sam.
came back as a
Sam.
vampire, in that way.
Kindred.
The kindreds. I'm sorry. That's right. We're not allowed to say that. I'll mark a hit point.
Okay.
I don't know any Sam.
Okay.
You don't know Sam?
So Sam hired you.
No,
And-
Sam was attacked.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
So Sam was attacked, and that's all we have.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know how. I just knew it was here.
Do you know if Sam had friends or enemies?
No.
Okay.
While this conversation's going on, Mathias is going to start looking around.
Sure. What is your method of investigation? What would you like to look for?
I think it's been a week, so looking for signs of a struggle, especially in the rain, isn't necessarily going to be the easiest thing to do. So I think instead he's going to look for like specific things that might be left behind, either on purpose or by accident, by a hunter.
Sure.
So like splintered wood from stakes or whatever else they might use in their arsenal.
Absolutely. Why don't you go ahead and roll intelligence investigation?
Okay. I'm not as good at investigation as I thought.
Can I see Mathias kind of leave and follow after and help out?
Yeah, you can give him a bonus die.
Okay, I'll give you a bonus dice, basically.
I will roll one more die then. 3 successes.
Yeah, on 3 successes, so it's night. I assume you pull out your phone for a flashlight. Oh, it's dead.
it's
Never
dead.
mind.
Yeah,
you
it is dead.
Between the 5 of you, someone has some way to illuminate the area.
I don't.
Between the 4 of you, someone has some way to illuminate the area. You do see in here and there what look like small piles of ash that have kind of been tucked into corners where they're safe from the wind. Not so much that you suspect, a whole kindred died here, but you do know that should limbs be severed,
right,
they will also eventually disintegrate to ash in the sunlight.
I think Reggie will go over to the ash, take a little bit to their nose, sniff it deeply, and we'll go, vampire.
Kindred.
Another point.
You also, with 3 successes, you also see what appear to be claw marks on some of the metal work, which speak to you of a kindred using some form of power.
Yep.
Either potence or protean, because you need a lot of strength or really sharp claws to cut through that. And you do see a very faint blood stain, especially with your bloodhound ability. You're able to sense a patch of dirt and sand that seems to have been mostly rained and washed away, but is still discolored in a familiar pattern.
And that's mortal blood, not vitae?
I think with 3 successes and that earlier bloodhound roll, you cannot tell. You can just make out that there was some kind of bloodshed here.
Oh, I've got an ability to use. Can I use Spirit's Touch?
Ooh.
That feels like it's perfect for this.
Oh yeah, I forgot you bought that.
By touching an object or the ground at a location, the vampire can sense the emotional residue left by those who have handled the object or visited the location in the past. Location being the operative word there. The user gains insight not only that person, but also what was done under what circumstances. While rarely crystal clear, the information often provides leads impossible to gain from regular forensics and deduction. This will be our fastest guest spot yet.
All right, we don't need you. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Papa bless.
Go ahead, Reggie.
Yeah.
Roll intelligence auspex.
My intelligence is... Okay, it's a 2 plus 1. Actually, I'm rolling a shitload of dice here. Oh! It's like 6.
6 messy crit.
Yeah, messy crit.
Oh, look at Jonas's face.
Jonas is very happy.
Yeah. I'm curious what Jonas will add to this. I think visually what this looks like, Mathias, is you're kind of like looking at one spot and then you see Reggie crouched on the ground and you might notice it, or it might just be one of those, horror movie kind of scenes where it's like just the camera picks it up. But I think when you shine a light at Reggie, the outline of the silhouette that is cast on the ground, there's these sickening feathers twisting out of it as Reggie is just locked in place on the ground in this crouched position, both palms of their hands almost glued to the dirt or the tar, like sinking in slowly. And there's just a quiet muttering coming from.
Incredible. 6 successes is crazy with that. So, once again, Reggie's powers of prophecy prove very powerful. The description for the power, Spirit's Touch, notes that the surroundings in which a 300-year-old letter was written approaches difficulty 6 or higher.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Holy shit. This was only a week ago.
So I think you were going to get a pretty good picture of what went down here. That said, rarely crystal clear. So, Reggie, you lean down and touch the ground, and you have not used this power before. This was a relatively new development of your blood. And the feeling of it is one of waking from a dream. A feeling that you now know with some certainty. And you sort of, your head bows and you roll back up, and you have to duck your head as a raven flies over and soars up and perches atop Gasworks Park. And similar to the vision you guys experienced together at the top of Crosstech Tower, the fast-forwarded recap of the night's events before the vines exploded out of the makeshift door, there is an accelerated replay of what looks like the raven disappearing, a woman with long hair tied back in a thick, intricate braid appearing out of the darkness, much like Max just did. Tan skin with this long blonde braid, and evident in the moonlight, a horrific, ugly scar down her left eye. making her blind on that side. You see another figure arrive, wearing a long, thick trench coat. Their face is turned away from you, but they are half illuminated in the moonlight. You see what looks like an adult woman with somewhat fair skin and dark hair. They meet in the center of the park, perhaps speak to each other briefly, and then, in a flash, the woman in the long coat produces a wooden stake and lunges at the woman with the braid. There's a scuffle, claws come out, blood is spilled, and when all is said and done, there's a shaft of wood planted in the heart of the woman with the scar and the braid. And the woman with the coat heaves, panting, thinking, and then bundles up the body and exits across the street. And from where you are looking, you can see them disappear into what looks like an abandoned building a few blocks away. Let's cut over back to the trio. What are you guys? How is that conversation going, or is it?
Yeah. So, maybe let's open this up a little bit. I'm Amber, and you are
Max,
Max. Nice to meet you, Max.
what's going on with that little one in the corner? They seem super focused.
He does. Honestly, it's probably best to let him do that.
Yeah, you can just ignore that. That'll happen.
Well, not ignore it. Just let it.
Happens a lot.
Yeah, they're fine.
Are you guys always this awkward?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, incredibly. My name's Antonio.
Hi, Antonio. And Max reaches out her hand towards Antonio. Does he take it?
He will.
And as Antonio kind of claps it, Max pulls him in real close and gives a good, all right, cool.
Little bump. Yeah, I get it, you know?
If I had a nickel. Anyway, so who hired you exactly? Someone here? Someone from out of town?
Out of town. It's hard. I'm not really local to this area, but I have
I've noticed.
friends in this area that are very nervous about the events that are going on.
That makes sense. I think everyone's kind of a little off kilter with everything that's going on. So
I mean, have you guys, new here, have you guys had this problem before?
in Seattle? No.
No, not for a while.
No.
No, we've had hunters here and there. That's, back in the 90s.
Not quite like this, though.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is large scale.
So nobody else that you know has been attacked in the area?
We're actually, just getting back to town, too.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
All right.
Incredible.
Reggie, you come out of this vision and see Mathias standing 10 feet away from you, kind of looking at you intently.
Yeah, I was going to ask Mathias, did you approach Reggie and, tap him or poke him or anything like that?
Mathias probably isn't going to try and shake you out of any vision that you're having.
Mm-hmm.
He might, squat down next to you, but...
Love it. When you kind of get close and you squat down, as soon as you get close enough, Reggie's arm shoots out and grabs you. And you just hear a crack as, their shoulder dislocates in that moment as they grab you. And I think the vision was so bad, and you hear them mutter to you, tooth and claw, a blood-stained paw, these wars matter not to those that rot. And then we'll just kind of, shake out of it a little bit, a little twingy, and just go, oh, fuck. And we'll, hey, can you help me out?
It might be better to get Antonio to help you with that.
Okay, then, all right, it's fine for right now anyway. And Reggie will
we
just
can bring, he's right there.
And Reggie will, having learned to do this, Reggie will just pop up and fall on their shoulder and pop it back into place.
Yeah.
Not thinking that, yes, Antonio's right there, and then they'll pop up and they'll be like, I think who we went that way. And Reggie will be a little subtle with their pointing of just a little thumb.
Yep.
With their back to Max there, trying to basically be like, we need to go that way. I was out of it for the last, minute and a half. I don't know that we're working with this person or what's going on.
Sure.
All right, well, let's go let the others know that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. You just short-circuited a whole like crime scene reconstruction skill challenge that we were gonna do. It's amazing.
It's when you get the option to skip the mini game in like a Batman game. And you're like, I don't want to do this crime scene.
Skip the tutorial.
Exactly. Yeah.
I genuinely had forgotten that you had that power, but that's great. I love it. Cool. Yeah, you guys go back over to the other three of you. You guys regroup in the shadow of the pipes.
All right. Well, glean anything.
Who the fuck is? Do we trust in this person?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, no, we
I'm
can...
biased, but I think it's a good idea.
I mean, better kindred than not there.
I'm so tired of people answering that aren't the other people that I asked.
It does happen to you more than anyone else,
It happens
Reggie.
a lot to me.
I'm not here to, like, fight you guys. Y'all can relax a little bit. There's literally, like, 4 of you and 1 of me. You don't have to have your guard up this much.
No, we're not. We're not looking to fight.
Reggie, you see, as you're asking this question, the little ruddy squirrel on Max's shoulder suddenly leaps over onto yours, graceful as a cat.
I think Reggie misses, but tries to swat it, just goes, bird! And just tries.
Not even miss. The squirrel is so agile and adept that it is able to twist itself midair and just
it's got one of those spines that works on its own.
Like a cat does.
Fuck yeah.
Well, squirrels have that ability.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it lands on your arm and runs up your shoulder with no more difficulty than running up a tree branch. And you are filled with this sense, not necessarily comfort, because it is a little grimy rat dude.
I think for Reggie, that actually wouldn't be that. That wouldn't be that.
This is your kind of fella.
I think, at first Reggie's like kind of like hunched in the moment and then like relaxes a little bit and be like, all right then.
It's sort of the feeling you get when your friend's cat who hates everybody snuggles up to you.
Oh, okay then.
And you feel chosen.
All right, cool. I think Reggie in that moment just kind of goes blank and then looks at Meg and goes, they went that way, and points towards where we're supposed to go and just makes an executive decision.
All right. Guess that went well.
I'm Reggie, by the way.
All right. And I think Max kind of also cocks her head a little bit. She looks between Rat and Reggie and kind of takes note that there's a sense of approval and some of her edge wears off a little bit too. She's like,
I think,
okay.
Yeah, Reggie starts to walk, not acknowledging that this rat belongs to somebody else, and just simply reaches into their pocket for like whatever they could find.
Mm-hmm.
Some loose trail mix.
Some loose trail mix that was there many, many months ago. And we'll offer it up to this rat.
Squirrels will eat anything, yeah. He chitters and chows down on it happily.
I used to have I had a rat like you for like a day or two, but it just bit me, so I'm glad you're not biting me. So I slowly walk off.
Yeah, so this is usually the result of letting them be for a minute. So, would you like to join us?
Yeah, I think I would. It's not often that he takes to people, and that's a good sign for me.
Good. Nice. Cool. So, let's go. And I look around at everybody else.
Yeah.
Antonio's just already walking behind Reggie.
You hear Reggie trying to teach Rat how to shake hands.
Oh, he knows. He's on it, yeah.
Oh, Rat. Okay, I immediately give him a treat.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's more like shaking a finger, because he is a squirrel. Yeah. But, yeah. So you guys follow Reggie. You know, it is still raining. It's not too heavy at this time of night, but there's a steady drizzle soaking through your clothes and making you all wish you had stopped somewhere to buy umbrellas along the way.
Oh.
My hair's not doing good in this weather. Actually, it is, but...
I was going to say, my hair's doing great.
Actually, you know what? I take it back. Vivian's a Malkavian.
She had umbrellas for us?
She had umbrellas for you.
Amazing.
I think before anyone could Reggie goes to a public trash can, rips the trash bag out of it, dumps the trash bag, and just made a poncho for themselves out of the trash bag. Looks back and sees you all holding 5 umbrellas.
Only 4.
Rat pops out in their own little spot.
He tears his own shred of garbage bag and makes his own little poncho.
Oh.
And his own little hands out too.
Yeah, hole for the tail.
I can stop narrating for a pet that's not mine.
It's great. It's so great.
You're doing great for me, yeah. as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, you guys exit the park, you get back on North Lake Way. When you saw this space in the vision, Reggie, it was that sort of dolly zoom effect where a corridor of perception narrowed down and you only saw the building that this figure went into. But now faced with the actual city block in front of you, you kind of have to double back and make 2 left turns and, lead everyone in a small circle before you finally recognize the facade of the building. Mm-hmm. But here, tucked away among the fishing shops and the massage parlors and the small commercial area, there is a small shop, narrow, 3 stories tall, so standing up slightly above the neighboring buildings, that is seemingly abandoned. There are no lights on, there's no signs in the window, the door is boarded up with condemned signs, and you guys note that, this isn't too unusual for Seattle in the world of darkness. It is a much lonelier and more destitute place than its real-life counterpart, but still, up here in Wallingford, this area is pretty active. This is right in the middle of a decently busy part of town. It's strange to see this kind of abandoned building next door to an open restaurant and a laundromat. But that's the building. The front door is boarded and taped up, like I said. There may be other entrances elsewhere.
Now, is there any kind of wear on the building that implies that it's been abandoned for a while, or does it seem like it was recently abandoned?
That's a good question. I won't even make you roll, Antonio, because of your concrete heart. I think you can tell from a glance and a vibe, it was pretty recently abandoned. Some of the paint is kind of just beginning to chip, like it was due for a new coat few months ago and has been left since then, but certainly not longer than 6 months on the outside. Maybe it was even abandoned since you guys went through the door.
Okay.
So, Reggie, why this building?
Well, it's this building.
Okay, inside?
Are we really gonna ask Reggie how they know?
I saw a person and they one had a braid and the other had no eye, and they're...
Oh my gosh, you're one of them. I knew it when you zoned out.
Braid and No Eye were the same person. Apologies.
Oh, I'm sorry. I saw 2 people and then they were one, but they were both or one staked.
Oh, wait, rewind. And Max goes up to Reggie and she gets kind of close and goes, "Woman with braid?"
I sniff you before you can sniff me.
I sniff you back.
Ugh.
It's not good.
It's not good. No.
Max immediately regrets it.
I sort of lean around you and keep talking to Mars. And they went in that building. Now, what did you say again? I'm sorry.
So, who exactly did you see?
I saw several people. Could have been one person. We're still determining that.
And what about them, Reggie?
Oh, anywho, I saw...
Do you need the recap of it?
One woman with fair skin, a long trench coat, dark hair, and another woman with dark clothes, a long blonde braid, and a thick scar over their left eye, the latter of whom was the one who was staked.
And that's who I saw.
Great.
Blonde braid, scar over eye. Does that ring any bells for Antonio?
Make a
Sounds like not a no.
Make a makeout check.
Intelligence awareness. It's a hard check.
I'm gonna use the willpower for that one.
Sure, go for it.
It's up to 3, right?
You get 2 because you only have 2 dice that are...
Yes.
Correct. Thank you, Casey.
It'll be 3 successes for Antonio.
3 successes. You are confident that you do not recognize that description.
Okay.
Reggie.
Yep. Don't worry. I already got the check.
Okay.
All right. No, what do you want?
Although your memory is often fickle, you are on right now, so you're not feeling too bad, too forgetful. And
I'm feeling good.
This dream that you emerged from seems to have reinvigorated your senses, although they have also put you perhaps more in touch with your beast. And you do sort of vaguely put together the raven in that vision is the same raven you've been seeing around town, a raven with a scarred left eye.
Oh.
There is no world where Reggie would admit that detail about the bird and that they've been seeing it. I think that realization, I think there's a moment where the focus is a little off Reggie because like the conversations happen. Now people are like, how do we know this person? And there's a moment of just Reggie just getting so nauseous.
Yeah.
Just wildly nauseous. And if anybody sees that, Reggie would just simply say, the visions.
Yeah. You did get a messy critical on that roll, so why don't you make a rouse check for me, Reggie?
Fabulous.
Hungry.
That's a 0.
And did you make one for Spirit's Touch as well?
Let's do it. That's a 0.
Hungry.
We're up to 4. We hungry.
Reggie's back up to 4 hunger. As the nausea rises and the bile, the feeling of bile coming up your throat, you feel the blood bubbling in your stomach and that voice in the back of your head that is ever so slightly coming to the fore now just whispers, "Ooh, that was a good nap, but now we're back in action. Ooh, let's paint this city red." What do you guys do?
Where did they enter?
Probably the door.
I gesture to the boarded door. Was it boarded in your vision, Reggie?
She went in this direction, but, it kind of gets fuzzy the farther away.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
whoever's in there is likely expecting us.
There's like a real strong depth of field,
Whoever's in there is expecting us?
Likely.
Think so?
Stake a kindred, I'd expect more would follow.
And we've been talking at full volume for like 5 minutes now outside the place.
Yeah, you see a guy leaning up in the alleyway smoking a cigarette, and he goes, "Hey, is that a squirrel?"
It is. Can I bum a cigarette? And I start walking towards it.
Yeah, he gives you a cigarette.
Okay then. Could I bite him? Could I feed just
Sure.
right here now?
Sure, yeah, there's no one else looking. Why don't you roll to resist hunger frenzy, Reggie?
Okay, great.
jeez.
My god.
Here we go. Paint it red.
Whew.
Oh,
4 successes, difficulty 3. We're good.
Radical. So I think you guys watch Reggie for one of the only times ever be smooth in their life. As Reggie just like hands you back the squirrel, Max. It's like, hey, can I bum a cigarette? Goes over there. They already have their lighter out. They, in one motion, they take the cigarette and they're shorter and they just grab the guy and just bite him and they just go down behind a dumpster.
Yeah, you may slake 2 hunger off of that
Incredible.
without going into frenzy.
I swear to God. Can we have more tact? Is that possible?
Max looks at Mathias and goes, "Is that also normal for you guys?"
Quite frankly, I haven't seen Reggie feed all that much, but I mean, they've managed well so far. Cut to all of the times Reggie's killed people.
Just 3 loud cracks.
Quick montage. From here in the alleyway, if anyone goes around to follow Reggie or peeks around, you do see that there are various windows you could break or jimmy open. There is a fire escape with upper doors you could possibly get in. It also seems like there may be, you see an alcove on the top of the building. There may be roof access if you can get up there.
If somebody wants to give me a boost to the fire escape, I can get up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to activate Weight of a Feather,
Ooh.
because I still have that from the last time I fed.
Yeah, Mathias has learned something about fire escapes in his time as a kindred.
Yeah, boost me up, please.
I'll give a boost.
Great.
Mars politely abstains. Mess up my clothes.
Yeah, Mars and Max, you guys kind of duck in the alley. You see Reggie cleaning up, wiping their mouth. The guy on the ground is just now completely conked out, having lost 2 liters of blood.
I keep his cigarette, just to be clear.
Mm-hmm. Antonio, you boost Mathias up. Now, Antonio, you don't have good strength, do you?
Not great. Not terrible.
I don't even activate pressure plates, though. I gotta be pretty.
That's
pretty
true. You
light.
are with a, okay, never mind. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah,
That was the whole point.
With the power activated, no problem at all. You are able to easily give him the boost necessary to get up on the fire escape.
Which, do I actually need to make a rouse check for that?
I believe that's free.
Yeah, it probably is. It's a level 1. Yeah, it's free.
Cheerleader in a past life.
Exactly. I think after getting the lift, Antonio just kind of looks at his arms like, oh.
Well, the dream made me stronger.
Yes, you're very strong, Antonio.
I don't like the sarcasm you said that with.
That's fair. I don't like a lot of things that have happened recently. And Mathias is going to keep going up.
Neither do I.
All right.
You're going up to the roof?
Yep. Oh, I should also just lower the ladder, huh?
Yeah, that helped.
Yeah, I can lower the ladder.
Matthias gets a full set of stairs up, sheepishly comes back down, drops the ladder,
and then goes back up. Yeah.
Yep.
I needed to walk away on that, so whoops.
Any other actions people want to take down in the alley while Matthias goes up, or shall we see what happens on top of this building?
I think now that Max has Rat back, she kind of gestures towards one of the higher windows and tells him to scrabble up and look in.
Ratatosker leaps onto the wet bricks and normally might have a hard time with this rain-slicked wall. He is quite the proficient climber, and he's able to fairly easily skitter up. You see him kind of check out the upper floor windows. He spots one that appears to be either open or cracked, and he disappears inside. Matthias, you get to the roof. You see that there's, so like I said, it's like the width of a brownstone. It's a small, thin, narrow building. There is one of those, I don't know if there's a word for it, but the sloped door entryway leading to a stairwell. What do?
You guys coming up, or?
Yeah, I think if the ladder's lowered, I would climb up.
Yeah.
Yes, same.
I think Matthias is going to, keeping weight of a feather on, because he doesn't want to fall through any roof or nothing. He's gonna make his way towards the door.
Sure. You get to the door. Everyone else clambers up over the side. I will say, as far as falling through the roof, this building, as Antonio observed, is not
It's not derelict.
Immediate verge of collapsing. You're not gonna, unless you do something to damage the structural integrity of it. But yeah, you get to the door as everyone else is coming up. It appears to be locked.
Can I make a break-in check?
You sure can. Yeah, roll your dexterity larceny plus break-in.
Yes. It's break-in is stealth. Just.
Oh, okay. Do you have larceny or no?
I do. I have 2 in larceny. It's the same as my stealth.
Okay, so you can just the same pool.
Just
you can
add
have
one.
the specialty no matter what. Yeah, cool. In the book, you're not supposed to have cross skill specialties, but then they do weird stuff like put break-in in stealth.
That's fair.
I'll use spirit touch on the door and find out they use a key to open it.
That's going to be 3 successes.
3 successes. Yeah, it's not a complex lock. You are able to easily jimmy it open, and the darkness of the stairwell looms within. You guys descend down the stairwell. You see it looks like an abandoned building. All of you have spent time in them before. There appear to be some kind of tattered blankets and raggedy clothes, things that squatters may have used in the time that this place has been abandoned.
I would immediately like to activate heightened senses just to sense out any sounds, movement, so on and so forth.
That's a very good idea. Roll wits awareness.
And I would like to roll stealth.
Sure.
Moving forward.
In this case, it will be, I guess it will be dexterity stealth to try and...
Should we all be stealthy?
Avoid making noise. If you want to be stealthy, you should be stealthy.
Yeah, that'd help. Kind of goes without saying, but of course my Oblivion sight's, rocking and rolling.
Jesus Christ. Willpower.
And if I can add a roll to the queue of awareness using my specialty in smell and see if I recognize any scent of Val.
Sure, yeah.
That's going to be 4 successes on dexterity stealth for me, with 1
Very
willpower reroll.
Gotcha. Yep.
I got 1 success and a bestial
Okay.
with willpower.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm. The dice know. I'm also going to roll stealth.
Reggie, you gonna be stealthy?
I think Reggie's a little too tapped out of it to, unless someone, yanks Reggie and is like, get the fuck down, get the fuck over here. Reggie's just kind of, walking behind the group, being like,
Sure.
what's going on?
Remind me how often we refresh willpower.
Every in-game night.
All right.
Are you trying to use up all your willpower on this?
I'm not trying to. I just got 0 successes on my stealth roll.
I should have just done this by myself. You guys were loud.
Probably worth it. I'm gonna try it. I really hope it's not 0 again. Okay. We have 2 on the stealth.
Okay. 2 for Antonio. On 1 success with your awareness roll, Mars, you're unable to make out any particular sounds in the building. The pour of rain outside is simply too loud, and the song in your head is simply too persistent. The rest of you, as you fan out and sort of try and move carefully, Reggie sort of not exactly sure what's going on or where we're going. Max, you do sniff something in the air, some familiar scent that perhaps is a little faint, a little weak to still be here, but may give you a clue to follow. It's on the floor below.
And Max just her claws kind of start to grow out, and then she just silently puts her hand up and motions down below.
You emerge from the stairwell into a room that is entirely pitch black. As you instinctively go to activate your eyes of the beast to see in the dark, 3 green dots appear on the far wall ahead of you. And so closes another chapter of Midnight Gravity.
What?
3?
Oh.
Why are there 3 of them?
Oh my god, it's 3 of them.
You're welcome. Welcome, goat. There are 3 of them.
How big?
Night vision goggles.
Oh my god, is Splinter Cell in the room with us?
Oh my
It's a
God.
predator.
It's Jack Splinter Cell,
It's-
baby!
Oh my god, it's Jack
Splinter
Splinter.
Cell himself.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
This is insane. There's 3 of them.
Thank you all for listening.
Tom Clancy is in the room with us. My
Tom
god.
Clancy himself. Guest gets to plug first.
Welcome
Goat.
to the show, Goat.
Welcome
my
to the show as our special
You
guest.
get your
What would you like to
plugs.
plug?
So my name is Goat. I am on Instagram as Go for the Goat with number 4, and TikTok as just all words Go for the Goat, and do nerdy stuff.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love nerdy stuff
Not
here.
that you guys would know anything about nerdy stuff.
Rachel, plug.
Just a last shout out and reminder for our New York City metro area listeners. Tomorrow, Tuesday, October 1st, at Brooklyn Game Night in Industry City, we are hosting our first actual play live show of the game Stars Are Dead.
Hell yeah.
Tickets are $12 and we'll start around 7 p.m. That is Brooklyn Game Night, KNIGHT, in your Maps app. We'll see you there.
Ooh.
That's a plug-in. Casey.
That's
You
a
can follow
plug.
my socials at Casey_Reardon on Instagram and TikTok. And yeah,
Andrew?
Hop onto rpgestures.com where you can check out our
Yeah.
merch store and buy some
that
cool
works.
things. Or you can read some stories that Jonas wrote for Midnight Gravity that are dope. Or you can just, you can just play around on there. There's some things. You can click some buttons. We're not going to say anything. Read our bios. What do we do? What are we like? What are our secrets? You can find out.
That's a plugin. You can check out myitch.io. My new game, Neon Spider, is a cyberpunk solo journaling TTRPG. 1 page, very easy to pick up. I would love to get some feedback on it and maybe expand it out into a full game. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Thanks. That's a plugin for me,
That's a
Sky.
plugin.
Are you like Samuel Leo Fisher and you like creeping and crawling around in the dark,
Oh,
using your weird little eye things to look around and find
his
people?
middle name is Leo?
His middle name is
Hey,
Leo.
yo, hey, what's
Everyone
going on here?
everyone knows
I'm
that
in
he's
Splinter
related
Cell.
to a certain satyr, but that's beside and not near the point that we're not trying to make. Have you creeped around in the dark like a weird little
Yes.
guy with some big old eyes? Exactly there. So therefore, you are qualified to leave us a review for some reason. Because if there's 2 things that we're looking for, it's people who leave reviews and people who skulk around in the dark. So why don't you just go ahead and leave us a review? Thank you.
Good night.
Good
morning.
Good night.
That's a plugin. Good night.